Hey guys, and welcome back. In this section, we'll talk about basic types that TypeScript provides us with. Okay, so I'll just quickly switch to Visual Studio Code, and I'll start in a folder named Introduction. Okay, now for this session, we'll need an HTML file in which we can run the JavaScript code that is transpiled by the TypeScript compiler. Okay, we will need a file. I'll just create one and call it index.html. Okay, and it needs to be something like this. And now inside the body, after it, I'll create a script tag, and in the src, I'll mention the name of the file types.js. Okay, and now this file types.js will be created by the TypeScript compiler and not by us. Okay, we'll just create a file named types.ts, and then we'll run it through a TypeScript compiler, and that will convert the types.ts file that will transpile the types.ts file into the types.js file. Okay, all right. So let's just quickly go through some basic code here. I'll just log say hello to the console and save this. So if I type in TSC, that stands for TypeScript compiler, and I pass it the name of the file named types.ts. If you look here, it will generate a types.js file for us. Now the code for this file would be similar because here we don't really have any TypeScript code. We have simply used JavaScript, and uh, every JavaScript is valid TypeScript. So that's why it just converted the sentence or the console log to JavaScript right here. So okay, so now I can open this up. I'll just reveal it in the Explorer, and I'll just open this up. And if I open the console, it should say hello. Pretty good, right? Okay, now let's start with the basic types that we have in TypeScript. I'll just save this, and I'll run the TypeScript compiler in watch mode so that I don't have to again and again and run the command tsc type.ts. So once I run it in watch mode, uh, whenever I make a change and save it in my TypeScript file here, it will automatically compile it into a JavaScript file. Okay, all right. So to declare variables, we use the keyword let. Okay, and then we'll start with the name of the variable, my variable, or say since this is going to be a boolean, we'll call it my bool or my boolean. Now this would be the name of the variable, and after this we'll place a semicolon, and then we'll specify the type. So the type is boolean. Okay, now my boolean can um, have can be assigned values like false or true. Okay, if I try to assign a value like a string, it's going to give me an error. It says that particular value is not assignable to type boolean. If I assign it a number, it's going to give me the same error. Okay, but there are some base types that every other type inherits from, and these are undefined and null. So these are the types that I can assign to any particular variable of any type. Okay, so all right, that was boolean. Now let's say we have a variable of type string. I'll name it my string, and it's of type string. So I can give it a value of string. Okay, now the string can be in single quotes, and it can also be in double quotes. Okay, it can also be a function call that returns a string. So suppose I call um, trim or say slice on this method and pass it 0 and 3. It's a valid string as well because slice returns a string right here. Okay. Now it can also be a function call that returns a string. So it can be something like function that returns hello. Okay, but we'll have to call this, so something like this, and then this function call is going to return a string, and so my string here is assignable to it. Okay, now finally we can also assign it values undefined or null. Okay, now let's say we have a variable of type number. I'll call it my number, and to assign it or to specify its type, we'll place a colon with the type. Okay. Now this variable my number, sorry, can be anything, any number. So it can be a positive number, it can be a negative number, it can be a negative decimal, it can be a positive decimal. Okay. It can also be a hexadecimal. Okay, it can be octal, it can be binary. Okay, um yeah, so and then finally it can also be of the case type that is undefined and null. Okay, all right, now we have type void. Okay, and void is generally used for functions. So suppose if I have a function here, okay, say log. Okay, and this function doesn't return anything. I can specify its return type as void, and then I can define it as such. I can simply place a line, say console log inside this, and I'll log hello world. Okay, so voids are generally used as the return values of functions, and we can specify the return types or return types of functions by doing this. Something similar to naming or declaring a variable, placing a colon after it, and then specifying the type that is returned or the type of value that it can store. Okay, so that was void. Then we have array. Okay, so there are a lot of ways in which you can create arrays. Okay, um, one of the ways is this, where we say we need to create a number array. Okay, so my number array, I'll call it. Okay, and this can store numbers, so I can do something like array of number. Okay, now this number is a generic type, so this array is a generic array that contains numbers, and then I can specify type, or I can specify the value of it like this. Another way of creating an array would be to do something like, I'll just name it my number array 1, and instead of this I'll be using the array syntax. Okay, and this is a valid number array as well. Okay, and the third way I can do this is by I'll just call it my number array 2, and the number would be outside this. Okay, so this is another way in which you can create an array. Now, if you want to have an array that can contain multiple types of values, then you can do something like string. Okay, if I don't do this, then I can only add values with um, which are of type numbers. And if I try to add a string to the array, it's going to give me an error. Okay, so I can do something like specify a pipe and then add a string type to it, and now this particular syntax will be valid. Okay, and I can specify as many types as I want here, so I can specify a boolean as well, and then I can add a boolean value to the array as well. Okay, so just a syntax, there's quite rare chance that you are going to use it, but as a part of the syntax this can be done. In this syntax, however, you can do the same thing. Oh, my bad. Sorry. Okay, so type a string and then you can specify a string type here. Okay, and then with this syntax you can specify a string type as well, but then you'll have to wrap this inside parentheses to make this work. Okay, so this is how you can create arrays of any types in TypeScript. Okay, then we have type any. So the any type is something, um, I'll call this variable my any. Okay, and it's of type any. So this is something that I can assign anything. Okay, I can assign a boolean to it. I can also assign number to it, and then I can also assign, say, mm, a string to it. Okay, and then I can also assign it an array, and then that array can contain a string and um, number. Okay, any is literally any, it can contain any type of value, and then any can also contain um, null and undefined. Okay, rows type any. We have enums. So enums are generally some things um, that we can use whenever there is a need of some things that are constant. So suppose if we are creating something like a calendar, and then we need to specify dates in that calendar, and the dates or the days are being used quite frequently. So instead of using strings for days like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and all the 7 days in a week, we can create an enum out of it. Okay, so create enums, you can do something like let days, or yeah, let days. Let's say to create enums, you'll have to use the enum keyword right here, and then you can use days. Okay, and then you have to specify the name of those days. So you can do something like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on and so forth. You get the idea, right? And whenever you want to, let's say, create a variable uh, day today, it can be of type days, or let's say a day. Okay, I'll just rename this to day instead of days. Okay, and I can do something like day dot Monday. Okay, you see what I did there, right? I mean, and you also get intelligence. So uh, day is basically some sort of an object. Okay, and then these three are the um, are the values that particular variable of that particular enum type can have. So they can either be a Monday or Tuesday or a Wednesday. Okay, so that's what enums are, and that's one of the use case wherein you can use enums. Okay, and then we have null and undefined. So if anything is null, then if it's of type null, then it can be assigned a value of null, and it can also be assigned a value of undefined. Okay, and same is the case with undefined. So if this is of type undefined, then I can either assign a value of null to it, or can assign a value of undefined to it. But I cannot assign any other value to these. So if I try to assign my undefined a number, it's going to give me an error. Same would be the case with a string, and same would be the case with a boolean. Okay, so that's all regarding basic types that we had. We had a look at all these basic types that we have here. There's one more type, and that's a tuple. Okay, so let's say we have a tuple, my tuple. Okay, uh, in here we have to specify the type of values that it's going to attain. Okay, so it can either it can be a string and a number. Okay, and then this is the signature of particular value. Okay, so it should be an array as it is specified by this. The first element of this array should be a string, and the second element of this array should be a number. Okay, so this should be something like a string and a number. Okay, yeah, so this is not going to work. I'm just going to remove this. Okay, all right. Um, on the other hand, if you try to assign it something like a number and then a string, it's going to throw an error. Okay, so special care must be taken when we are using tuples, although we won't be using tuples in our Angular application. But yeah, I guess this is something that might be used in some cases. So care must be taken while using them. So this is the basic signature. Now this doesn't mean that other elements can't be added to this array. We can add other elements as well, but the starting element should be according to the definition that we have here. Okay, so if say the third element was supposed to be a boolean, then this is going to give us an error. Okay, I'll just remove the second line because just explained what's happening there. But yeah, the third thing, the third element in here should be a boolean. Once we provide it with a boolean, it's not going to give us an error. And anything apart from the sequence that we have here, anything after those number of elements and with those same sequence would work. Okay, so I can change the sequence of this to say my tuple equals to, it first needs a string, so I give it a string. Then it needs a number, so I give it a number. Then it needs boolean, so I give it a boolean. And after that I can write here I had a string and a number, but after this I can have a boolean, a number, and a string, and it won't mind. Okay, so that's how tuples work. Okay, so these were all the basic types that TypeScript offers us, and these are basically the types that we are going to use in our Angular applications. So we again, if I give you a brief overview, we have booleans that has values like true, false, undefined, and null. Then we have strings that can take values in single quotes, double quotes. It can also take values that are returned from a function that is a string. Okay, and then again it can have values like undefined and null. and we have numbers that can contain positive and negative integers, positive and negative decimals, and hexadecimals, octals, binary, undefined, and null. And we have a void that generally is used as a return value of a function. Then we have arrays, and we have three different ways in which we can create arrays. Then we have type any that can be assigned anything, literally anything. Okay, a boolean, a number, a string, an array, a null, or an undefined. And we have enums that are generally used whenever there is something that would be used quite a lot in the application as strings, but would create issues if we use it as strings. So we define them as enums. Okay, and then we have null, undefined, and tuple. So these are all the basic types that we'll be using in our Angular applications. Okay. Next up, we'll talk about let and const keywords. So I'll talk about those in the next video. Um, so I'll see you there. Thanks.